Hello dear students, in this video we are going to learn the lesson life process and the topic heterotrophic nutrition, right? So heterotrophic nutrition, it is a type of nutrition where the organism derives its nutrition from the outside source. As the organism lacks chlorophyll and cannot photosynthesize and cannot synthesize its own food, so as a result they have to depend on other organisms for their food. So in such cases, the food can be either a plant or an animal or its part, or even it can be some bacteria in case of a unicellular heterotroph, right? It can be bacteria, algae, etc. Right? So the heterotrophic nutrition further is classified into three different categories based on the strategy that is followed or the strategy that is undergone by the organism. The strategy to intake their food. Okay, so let us discuss these different types one by one. So it includes number one, the saprotrophic nutrition. Then secondly, the parasitic nutrition and the holozoic nutrition. Okay. So in saprotrophic nutrition, the organism is dependent on any dead or decaying organic matter, right? The organism on this dead and decaying organic matter, it grows on it and it releases certain enzymes or chemicals that hydrolyzes or that breaks down the organic matter into its simplest and absorbable form. And finally they take in or they get their nutrition, right? So the organism that follows this saprotrophic mode of nutrition includes the fungi, mushrooms, moles, etc. So these are non-photosynthetic organisms and they are known as saprotrophs, right? Then secondly, the next type of heterotrophic nutrition is the parasitic mode of nutrition, where the organism takes the food without killing the animal or without killing its food. Okay, in this case the organism take the already digested food by the host organism, and the organism that takes the food ready made, that takes the digested food, is called the parasite. Okay, so in such type of nutrition the host is harmed or the host is deprived of the nutrition as deprived of the nutrients as the nutrient is being taken by the parasite, right? So these parasites can either be ecto or endo. Ectoparasites are those that grow outside the body and absorb the already digested food by sucking the blood. For example, the leeches. Okay, leeches are the ectoparasite. They get stick to the body of the animal and they suck their blood. And while during sucking the blood, so they take their food. Whereas in some cases, the parasite lives inside the body. For example, the intestinal worms, right? The intestinal worms absorb the digested food from the host body. So in this way, this is how they derive their food. But not only the animals, the parasitic nutrition also includes some plants which cannot photosynthesize. The plants which are non-photosynthetic, which are not green in color, which do not have chlorophyll and cannot photosynthesize, and they are some of them are also parasitic in nature. For example, amarbel, right? Amarbel, let me write the example here. Example, amarbel, or it is also known as cuscuta. These are the parasitic plant which derive the nutrients from the host plant. Okay, so I forgot to write the example for saprotrophic nutrition, which includes the fungi, etc. Okay, fungi, molds, or the you can say mushrooms. Okay, so this is about saprotrophic and parasitic mode of nutrition. Now next type of nutrition is the holozoic mode of nutrition. So in this holozoic mode of nutrition, the organism takes the food, the organism take their food inside their body. As I said, the food can either be animal, plant, or the plant parts, animal parts, etc. Right? So the food is taken as a whole inside the body, and the process of digestion breaks it into its absorbable form. Right? And finally it is being absorbed inside the cell for its further process. So now let us discuss in detail how this Holozoic mode of nutrition is is followed. So this Holozoic nutrition is common for both unicellular as well as multicellular organisms. So now let us see it in detail. Let us discuss in detail about the Holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay. So as I said, this Holozoic nutrition is shown by both unicellular and multicellular organisms, and this has 5 basic steps, right? The 5 basic steps of Holozoic nutrition includes ingestion, the process by which the food is taken in. Secondly, digestion. So this digestion process is completely enzymatic. And then next is absorption, then assimilation, and lastly egestion, right? So these are the 5 basic steps of Holozoic nutrition which can be followed by any organism. I mean any organism that follows Holozoic nutrition has to undergo these 5 basic steps, right? So let us understand it with the help of the example of amoeba. Okay, amoeba is a unicellular protist which is irregularly shaped, right? So amoeba are irregularly shaped unicellular organism which is a protist, and this amoeba follows Holozoic mode of nutrition. So let us see how amoeba undergoes the Holozoic mode of nutrition. So to follow the first step, that is ingestion, in case of amoeba, whenever it finds a food near to it, okay, the food of amoeba can be algae or can be a bacteria, okay, can be a bacteria or other organism, unicellular, of course, unicellular organism. So whenever a food that they sense it nearby, they extend their cell membrane, that is, they extend their pseudopodia. So let us understand what is this pseudopodia. These pseudopodia are actually the extension of their cell membrane. These are also known as the false feet. The function of pseudopodia, there are 2 functions of pseudopodia in amoeba. Their primary function is for locomotion. Okay, so this is where the name pseudo means false and podia means feet. So the primary function is for locomotion, and secondly for nutrition. So we will discuss how this pseudopodia will help them in their nutrition. So as I said, whenever it senses the presence of food nearby, it will start to extend their cell membrane and encircle, or it will start to surround the food. As a result, this food will be taken inside, right? So the food, after encircling it, the food will be taken inside the body and it will be taken inside the food vacuole. Now inside the food vacuole, the next step will occur, that is digestion, right? The enzymatic action will occur inside the food vacuole. After the process of digestion, now the digested food will be released inside the cell cytoplasm, that is the assimilation. Okay, so in assimilation, the food will be released into the cell cytoplasm and it will be used for other metabolic activity, right? Now finally, the undigested food that is present inside the food vacuole, it has to be removed out, right? Now how it will be removed, as because amoeba does not have a fixed point of entry or exit, right? As I said, for entry the pseudopodia helps to take in, but for its exit it does not have a proper part or proper fixed location. But here the undigested food will be removed with the help of cytoplasmic streaming. Okay, so in cytoplasmic streaming means the cytoplasm of the cell will move. As a result, this food or the undigested food will move like this from here to here. So as soon as it come in contact with the cell membrane, the cell membrane will dissolve, and as a result it will be removed or it will be excreted out. And after, as soon as it removes, it will reorganize or it will reform. So in this way the waste is removed, or the process of egestion is followed in case of amoeba, right? So this is how holozoic nutrition occurs in amoeba. Now this holozoic nutrition not only in amoeba, in other unicellular organism the same steps are followed, but in a different way. For example, in case of Paramecium, okay, Paramecium is another protist which also follows holozoic mode of nutrition, but Paramecium does not have pseudopodia, or for the process of, for ingestion it does not use their pseudopodia, it does not have it. Rather it has a kind of oral group or a kind of structure like this, which has cilia all over its body, right, which has small hair like outgrowths which are known as cilia. So due to the movement of cilia, the food particles will move in and around their body or nearby their body, and through this oral groove, okay, so this is known as oral groove. Suppose this is the food, it will be captured and it will be taken inside and it will go to the food vacuole, and the further process of digestion, absorption and assimilation will be carried out as it is, and lastly it will be ejected out. Okay, so this is how, with the help of oral group. Okay, so cytoplasmic streaming in case of amoeba, in case of amoeba they use the pseudopodia, whereas in case of Paramecium they use oral groove for entry of the food. Okay, there is an oral groove in their body. So this is how holozoic nutrition is carried out in unicellular organisms such as the amoeba and the Paramecium. Okay, so this is about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So let us go for a quick revision. There are three different types of heterotrophic nutrition, which is based on their strategy to take their food. Means how do they take their food, right? For example, fungi, they hydrolyze it outside their body with the help of enzymes secreted by them outside, right? Whereas in case of parasitic nutrition, already digested food is absorbed, right? Already digested food is absorbed, and then the holozoic nutrition, where the food is taken inside the body and the process of digestion occurs inside the cell, or maybe for higher multicellular organism it's little different. Okay, so in my next video I shall be explaining you how holozoic nutrition is carried out in multicellular organism such as in humans. Okay, so I will explain to you how these 5 steps are followed in humans, or holozoic nutrition in human. That will be my next video. So for today I shall wind up here, and I hope that this video will help you in understanding about the topic. So with this note I would like to wind up here. So thank you so much.